Hi, I'm Eric Liittschwager, the host of the Quick Chop Show, and thanks for tuning in for a new episode. Today we're going to be doing a famous French recipe which is called a ratatouille, and there's no rats involved, just the touille. And we love that word because it's grenouille, ratatouille, andouille. French love to play with this word, so stay tuned and we'll show you how it goes. Quick Chop is provided by Mission Grocery Outlet in San Francisco. So ingredients are peppers, zucchini or courgette, eggplant. I have some Chinese eggplant here, the regular aubergine. I like to use a red onion just for the color aspect of it, and it's just a little sweeter. And then tomatoes, and then some salt and laurel or bay leaves. So we're going to get started cooking our onions and peppers first and in a separate pan. I like to start it and put it stem down and then just kind of peel a slice off like that. And we're just going to kind of cut around that core that's in there and there. And there's your core, there's your seeds. I take off these kind of light, fleshy pieces and just tap them, and any remaining seeds will come out. Now again, we're cutting onions. My preferred method is just to cut them in half down the center like that, and starting at the top or the crown, just kind of pull back that first layer until you get to that nice layer, and I just leave that part attached. We'll just take that off. Then I make a couple of cuts down the center, and then I'll take one, depending on how big I want my slices, I'll take one slice slightly angled down, so when you make that cut, you're kind of slightly angling that down because you've got your hand here, so should you slip, the knife is going to tend to go down and not across into your hand, so it's just a little safer to go that way. Then we're just going to take some slices across there, and then I just roll it over and take off a little trim, and then that's all the waste. Today I'm using avocado oil. I like to peel my tomatoes, and a quick way to do that is we're just going to take these. I've got some boiling water here. There's no salt, no oil needed. I'm just going to drop these guys in there like an egg, and I'm just going to swirl them around. All right, so those have really just been in there for about a minute. And I'm just going to set them off to the side here. Once they start turning a little translucent, you put them in the pan, they're starting to get a little more translucent now, just reduce that heat down. You don't want the pan to get dry, and you don't want things to start sticking. So, a little browning is okay. It's just not what we're after. Add a little white wine to that. $20 milliliters or so. And then I'm going to put the top on that. So now I'm going to just peel these things in. You can start these off a couple of different ways. I like to use just the very heel of the knife blade to kind of gouge the skin a little bit to get things going. And then it just comes right off. So what I'm going to do with the zucchini now, since I got the parchment paper out, is I'm going to just take a peel on the zucchini, every other kind of side to it, like quarters to it. Depending on what you're doing with them, depends how you slice them. And I'll take that core out right there. Again, just just a little wedge cut just to get that stem piece out. And then I'm going to quarter these. So it's okay. Lay them down. Sometimes I'll flip them opposites. Because of this recipe, we're taking about a 1/4 inch thick slice on these guys. The same for the eggplant or the aubergines. So you can see what I'm saying. When you cook this up, you've just added a nice little feature to it, the way it looks. I like the Chinese eggplants because they're more tender. I think they're really nice. We can use them in other things as well. They cook beautifully. Up to you. We can mix it. So I'm going to do a little of both today. So, but we want to prepare them just a little bit. So we're going to take off this piece here on the end. And then I take that bitter end off. Now, for the larger size, what I'm going to do is again, about that 1/4 inch thickness, I'm just going to take some slices on the rounds here. And for this guy, I'm going to do just like I did the zucchini. I'm going to take it right down the center. So take just some regular table salt, and we're just going to coat these guys with that. Now I've salted this side, so now I'm going to lay that side down. The water that's contained in there has a bitterness to it, so by salting it, it's going to draw that water out. We're going to collect it with the towel, and then we're going to rinse the salt off and then pad them dry. There may be some water getting added too when we rinse it, but I'd rather have the clear water in there in the eggplant rather than the bitterness flavor that's going to be there. For the Chinese, you could cut them again just like we did the courgettes and take them down. And these guys, I'm just kind of cubing them. A little of our flake salt in there. Lost one. Salt needs time to melt and incorporate and draw into the food. Okay, now we're going to add the zucchini and incorporate that. So as you see in here, it's not browned. There's nothing brown, there's nothing sticking to the bottom. There's even a little bit of liquid still in there because I kept the lid on, and that helped the laurel leaves kind of do their thing. I'm just going to leave them in there, and now I'm just going to incorporate this in. Just kind of dressing it a little bit here for you. And the Sauvignon Blanc that I used to cook it with, it's a good Sauvignon Blanc to use. So, that is a match made in heaven. Thanks for tuning in for this episode of Quick Chop. Remember, leave us your comments, and please hit that subscribe button or follow us on Instagram. You know, we really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.